it is time for us to actually do something with the Cressida today, because all of our energy lately has been dedicated to making other videos, the G35, and just finishing off 2023. We are ditching the SSR MKIIIs that are on the car until we can get our Skrilla up and rebuild them to a better spec. But what that means is we're putting on these widened steelies that we have stolen from Ben Johnson. And if you remember our episode of this car where we took it to Vancouver Island and got pulled over by the cops, Ben had his silver X7 there, and these are the wheels that were on it. And yeah, today we are gonna go over getting these wheels all fitted up, probably rolling the fenders to make it work, and then installing a small diameter steering wheel.
Oh, if we're doing wheels and steering wheels, do you think that this episode is gonna be really cool? Speaking of our trip to the island, as we were coming home, going onto the ferry, going over the speed bumps, the exhaust just got fully ripped off.
The muffler is ripped off the hangers and the exhaust is broken in half at the midway point. So Sandra's just churning some butter right now.
I feel like a pilgrim.
We're so bad.
Okay, let's see where it broke.
Oh God.
I'm watching it.
Should we take apart that test light section?
Yeah, I mean, it's worth it. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, we have the tools. Should we free that test pipe up?
Yeah.
So we got Milo to make this new exhaust for us. It's great. It's dual pipe exit.
So here we have the Checkpoint Cressida. There is no muffler left on it. So today I'm gonna build a really cool exhaust out of all of this stainless and about $5,000 worth of tooling. I'm gonna make something sick. It's gonna be sweet. So I'm gonna take these two pipes here and I'm gonna extend them so they go all the way back here. And then we're gonna go this way with it. I'm gonna make some sweet pie cuts so we can get the muffler to sit right about here, and then it'll come out to about there. Then we're gonna put those really cool blast pipes on it, and it's gonna sound really sick, and it's gonna be super fast. It is the next day, and been busy at the exhaust here. I think it's looking pretty freaking sweet. Look at all that. Okay, now I gotta weld the tips on and make hangers. The exhaust turned out okay. This is the first time I've ever done an exhaust with like full pie cuts and shit. Pretty happy. Gonna lower it down, fire it up, see how it sounds.
It does have a muffler, so it's pretty quiet. I do intend on hollowing out the muffler so it sounds a little bit more cool. And then, yeah, we're gonna fix it up a little bit, make it a little bit flatter and tuck it up a little bit more because it does scrape a little bit. Yeah, we have a horn!
It's just Sandra yelling.
What's new? What is new?
Is a lot more fun to drive with a small wheel, but the wheel is not straight. I gotta fix that. Look at that Alphard. Another one.
So fucking bouncy back here, I can't even.
Yeah, I know it's so bouncy in this car. No rear sus, but so yeah, the wheel is super off kilter.
bump stops are all smushed and squishy, so we just cut the stock springs and put them in. So now hopefully it's a little bit higher and stuff.
Sweet.
I don't think we expected to put springs back in this car ever, but here we are. We've got significantly cut springs in the rear of the Cressida now, which hypothetically will improve the way this car drives a little bit, which could be nice. No, this is sick though. I'm like really stoked to see this car finally have good fitment. This is a good spec for the car. Good first spec for the car.
I think that it looks really cool, especially while I was in Japan. I saw a lot of cars on widened steels and it looked really good. And at NA Non-Surrey that I just got back from, the Moonlight Runners X7 is also on wide steels. And I think that it's a really cool, tough look for the car. So I'm happy.
All sidewall flex, not suspension.
Okay, well today is a special day because I'm doing my favorite car mod, which is welded diff. Diff is clean and ready to be welded.
Some banners. You guys will find out what they are pretty quick, you know, maybe by the time this video's come out. So.
Yeah, Alex is in Edmonton right now, training for his new job. We got Carly weeding some banners and decals, and then Sanddog working on her Skyline. I think she just got her transmission in.
So right now I'm pretty much just trying to put the shifter back in, which is always really annoying because you have to like match up the pilot bushing exactly to get it into the right space. So that's what I'm on. I just filled up the transmission with some MT90 and gonna take the car out for a test drive. So pretty much what happened is right before I went to Japan, I had another car I was gonna put into the shop that I was renting out before. So I was gonna bring the Skyline home. I put the clutch in, get it ready to move, and it goes right to the floor. There's no pressure, nothing. So I was pretty much like, I'm just gonna go to Japan and forget about this for now. And then when I got back, it was pretty much Reed from Rude Boy Custom who encouraged me to actually get my car working again. So he came and we pulled out the transmission. We didn't even have like a transmission jack when we were pulling the transmission, and he used his head as a transmission jack, which was awesome. And essentially we found out that the clutch fork was cracked, so it wasn't hugging like the throwout bearing sleeve correctly, and it kept like twisting and falling off. So got a new clutch fork and we put it all back together. He helped me get the top, bell housing bolts, which are always really annoying. And yeah, I want to make sure that everything's working and that I can drive my car again. Essentially, I'm at the exact same place I was at 1 year ago when we filmed the last Skyline update, but I now have like new clutch fork and Nismo pivot ball, because apparently that is something that really commonly fails on these pesky RB20 transmissions. And now I have a car, allegedly. It still needs, from the last update, it still needs pretty much everything that it needed from before. But it's car, it runs and drives. If anyone has stock GTST front and rear crash bars, I want them, because this isn't really my style and I can't fit the stock bumper over it. Dailying the Cressida is all fun and games, but when you commute as much as I do on the roads that I commute on, I just be bumping shit. The cross member is super bent. It's a fun daily, but it's when it's my only option, it's kind of annoying sometimes. So my really important mod, I put this cool scarf or whatever. I just thought it looked cool. We fixed up the exhaust, like we said, and we put in the welded diff, which has also been funny to drive with. But yeah, it won't get stuck. The welded diff is really handy because obviously if you're stuck on something, sometimes if your car's like off kilter, like one of the wheels will be on the ground and then the other one isn't, but then you don't get traction and it sucks.
Should we go do donuts somewhere?
I'm so down.
Let's do it.
What the hell is even that?
Security kicked us out so quick.
We did donuts right in front of the security guard.
He looked pissed, yeah.
He said nothing. He had no words. He was just like,
While we were trying to do donuts, we noticed that the front tires were completely bald. So we went and bought new ones and mounted them. But yeah, this is probably too unsafe to drive on, so we have to go take care of that right away. Also, Sandra just got her car back together, so I think we're gonna take this thing around the block.
Is there coolant in it?
let's just see what happens. The engine definitely doesn't sound great.
I think it's just lifter tick. I don't think it's a big deal. The tick is gone. Cool. It
My
sounds cool.
driving spirit is like activated right now. I am so happy. That was so. Everybody get in the f***ing car.
Okay, so not a huge update today, but it was really nice to get some wheels that actually fit the car nicely, put the welded diff in, it feels super fun, all the other little things that we did. But for now, that's where we're at. Maybe we won't get mirrors that are fucking Bluetooth connected. We got new wipers. Did you guys ever notice our wipers? Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope that you enjoyed our Cressida, and please buy a keychain if you want to. Leave a comment. Actually, please leave a comment if you're watching it and you've made it this far. Just go down there and say, eat big dirty every day. I don't know. Leave a comment, leave a like, leave a subscribe if you want to see how this is going to look by the summer. And should I do it? Boom!